going ahead, all right, this is again very important. I'm sure you've covered this in your talks, but again, we want to reiterate this process of US residency, right? Again, right from your USMLEs to USCs and this entire thing. So I'm sorry, there's some typo. It's a long journey, right? So, so my point is, yes, how did you keep yourself motivated, because of this entire thing, and what was that thing which kept you going? Because Vibhor did mention about persistence. So where that persistence come from, Vibhor? If you may start.
I had very personal reasons to go to US because I just don't feel very comfortable in India. I just don't feel like I'll get that personal satisfaction out of life and happiness that I desire. I felt like that happiness and that satisfaction can only be achieved in the US, and that kept on driving me. And I knew if I'll make something out of my life, if the US doesn't work, I have other options. I can do PLAB 1, PLAB 2, and just go to UK. If that doesn't work, I was anyway getting surgery residency in GMC of Patiala. So I'll do surgery here and become a surgeon. So I knew I had plan B, plan C, plan D. But my focus was plan A, which was to get to the US. That is what I wanted. And right from my first year, I wanted to go to US. So that just kept me motivated.
Perfect. How about you, Mayuri?
Right. So, in terms of medicine itself, one thing I asked myself is like, if not medicine, what else would I be good? Would I be doing? Like, outside of medicine, can I do anything else? Do I see myself in any other career? So that's one thing. Like, it's a goal. Like, it's a dream that you want to live. You want to practice medicine in real. But when it comes to India versus US, I never had an Indian healthcare system experience because I studied in Caribbean and then I went to US
Correct, correct.
clinical systems. So one thing that actually scares me coming back to India is the language. People have local languages. They talk in, whether it's in, like, I'm in Gujarat right now. So if it's not English, I will not understand what they're talking. That's one thing that I find is an obstacle for me coming back to India. But in terms of healthcare system, I feel like since I have experienced US, I feel it's way more organized and you have a lot more opportunities in US. Like, if not practicing medicine, you still have a lot of other opportunities that you can do. So yeah.
All right. How about you, Surbi?
I think what, like, in our journey, we are all very social people. We have a tendency to compare with others, especially if all of our friends are going to be in residency and we are still sitting and we're giving steps. So in this, what was very important to keep me motivated was having a good peer group who was doing the same thing that I was doing. Having friends that I can speak to when I'm feeling really down, when I'm feeling like, okay, is this even going to work out? What am I doing with my life? So at that moment, I needed friends who I could just call and talk about it with, laugh about it with. And I think if I didn't have my peer group of 5, 6 people who were doing the same thing, this journey would have been very hard.
Very, very important. So lot of takeaways. Vibhor said that his dream was very clear from day one, right? Although he knew plan B, but he didn't want to consider those plan B. So he was very clear that that ideal life is there, and he just kept on working towards it. And as Dr. Mayuri also mentioned, right? You have to. It is very, very important that you see what are your alternatives. As she mentioned, what's an alternative career? Let's say she was very clear it has to be US, whether it's clinical, non-clinical. But when at times it does happen, when we try to see the option, we realize no, whatever journey or whatever thing we are aiming towards, I think that is the best which can be for us. So a lot of times, a lot of students come to me, in midst of second, third year, fourth year, that now they don't want to consider, although they've not even done their actual clinicals in your med school, but they are like, okay, ab USMLE nahi karna. And when at that time when we compare the alternatives, at times a lot of them decide no, our original journey was correct. So it's all about course corrections at the right time as well. So and finally, of course, Dr. Subhi mentioned a very important point that your peer group, it is a make and a break thing. I mean, if you have 20 people who are either directionless or maybe aiming towards India or anything, it is for sure that you are alone in that group, and things might not work for you. But if you have people, let's say even a small group, but everybody is clear about their expectations and their journey, it does make a lot of difference. So each one of you should make sure that you are connected and in touch with the right set of people, and that does help. Believe me, as Dr. Subhi mentioned, it is a long journey, and there are multiple times where you might feel to give up. So it is very important that you keep yourself, calm and composed. And as earlier panelists did mention, patience is the key. All right.